All right, everybody. Good late afternoon. We've got an injury report from both teams now for Thursday, and it got a little bit better, but we've still got a lot to be concerned about going into tomorrow, and it's starting to look a little more bleak for a decent chunk of this team, including a lot of pretty important players. So I got the latest from Mike Dugar here on X. Let's peep it. Still a lot of did not participates, including one new one that has to be very concerning for this upcoming game. Still a decent chunk of guys who are at the very least dinged up, even if they're likely to play. There was some good news, of course. There is some good news here, but overall, we still have a lot to be aware of as we move towards the weekend here. So let's start with the DNPs. D. Eskridge did not participate at this point. It's kind of it seems like a lost cause to expect him to play in any game. I don't know if he's actually hurt or if we're just keeping him on ice so we can release him in the offseason, but he doesn't look like he's going to be able to go. Jason Peters did not participate with the foot injury. Again, when you're that old, the injuries that would normally keep you out for a little bit keep you out for a while. That's probably a situation where it's an injury that normally wouldn't bug a player that much, but for this one, it is, which again, at least he doesn't start anymore, but you'd rather have him than not have him. We don't have a great contingency plan for if Peters can't play to back up. K9 still out, which is definitely a little bit alarming at this point. Shoulder and illness. The good news is he didn't practice on Thursday last week and he still played on Sunday, but it does seem like there's something up with Kenneth Walker, and it's at least possible that he misses the game on Sunday at this point. The good news, I guess, is that part of his problem is an illness, and that should clear up by game day. So at least we got that going. But overall, there's still enough to be concerned about to at least acknowledge that if he does play, he's less than 100%. Nick Bellore did a DNP as well with a knee injury, same deal. Jordan Brooks did not participate. I'm already kind of assuming he probably won't go this weekend, which is obviously too bad. He's an important part of what we're doing this year. As bad as the defense has been, it can get a little bit worse, and I do think that Jordan Brooks is part of the solution right now rather than part of the problem. Mario Edwards did not participate once again. Now, I'm a little less concerned about that one, but still, this is not something we've seen from him all year, so this is implied to be something new. Draymond Jones still not practicing, so whatever's going on with his shoulder is at least somewhat serious. And Frank Clark is still getting the resting player designation. So we did see a couple guys get cleared off here, like Noah Fant. Jaron Reed's not resting anymore. Bobby Wagner's not resting anymore. The really alarming one, however, is this new DK Metcalf injury who did not participate with a back injury. So that is new. That is apparently different from the injuries that he sustained earlier this year that kept him out of one game and kept him in a questionable status until game day in a couple other games. So yeah, this DK Metcalf thing is definitely a bit of a. I don't know what happened, but it's the last thing that we need right now. I'll put it to you that way. So yeah, DK Metcalf did not participate, but again, we'll just hope things get better tomorrow here. But right now, there's still a lot to work through for the Seattle Seahawks. Got thankfully only a few guys who were limited in participation today. It's getting a little bit better there. Anthony Bradford still limited. He'll probably be limited for most of the rest of the season at this point. He's just battling through too much stuff. Jamal Adams limited with a knee injury. Does look like he'll be able to play this weekend at least if we want him, if we can find a way to utilize him properly. And Devin Witherspoon practiced yet again, which is a good sign. Obviously, you wish it was full, but it seems like he'll be back this week. Seems like he'll be able to go. Seems like he'll be able to contribute positively. So at the very least, we can say that we cut down on the crew of players who were significantly dinged up and trying to fight through it. So that's good news. But we do have a collection of guys who are playing through things that are probably going to keep them at least slightly less than 100%. That's always going to be kind of the case, but sometimes I think it's a little more exacerbated when it's on the injury report versus when it's just something they're quietly dealing with. So going through the full participation list, we got Noah Fant with a knee injury, so he made his way all the way back from yesterday, which is obviously great news. Jake Bobo made his way back from limited to full today, so good to go there. Damian Lewis went from limited to full today, good news. JSN went from limited to full today. Abe Lucas, Trey Brown, and Leonard Williams held their spots as full participants, so there was never really any question about those guys and their availability anyway, but they're continuing to hold in the same rough area. And yeah, that's still quite a bit, man. That's still a huge chunk of this team. And the only guys who got completely cleared off this injury report today were the guys who were resting, like Diggs and Lockett and Wagner and Reed. Everybody else at least stayed on it in some capacity. So there is some stuff to have your guard up about when it comes to this team playing the Steelers squad this weekend. So we're not exactly in a great spot right now. And as for Pittsburgh, they've got a much smaller injury report. I got this from Adam Kaplan on X. Kenny Pickett's still limited, but he's a backup quarterback anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. They got back Sumalo today, so he should be fully ready to go by the time we get to game day. He was a full participant. Najee Harris went to limited today, so he's probably in good shape to be ready to play by game day. Trenton Thompson, safety, went to full today, so he's definitely looking to be available this weekend. The only real issues Pittsburgh is dealing with at the moment in terms of injuries that actually affect their team would be Minkah Fitzpatrick. That's the big one. If he cannot play, that's a big deal. He's one of their key players. He's one of their star players. And if Minkah cannot play, that cuts down on what the Steelers can count on defensively significantly. He's one of their playmakers. He's one of the reasons why they're so good at forcing turnovers. He's one of the reasons why they've managed to prevent points really well this year, despite giving up a lot of yards. So that's the big one. Landon Roberts also did not participate, so he's starting to look a little questionable for this week. That's not without its significance as well, but Minkah's the really big one. So that's it. That's really all Pittsburgh's dealing with right now in terms of the week-to-week injury report. Of course, everybody has their own IR crap that they're dealing with. But yeah, this is definitely not trending the way we wanted it to trend. We do have one more day of practice first, though, so we can hope things get better tomorrow. But as of right now, there's quite a bit to be concerned about. See you guys later. Go Hawks. I'll be excuse me, streaming later tonight, right near the end of the Thursday night football game with the Hawks Nest, talking about this upcoming Steelers game. And hope to see you guys there. Probably be on Twitch at some point later tonight as well, either before or after the Hawks Nest stream. See you guys later. Hope everybody has a good night. Almost made it to the end of the week and almost made it to the end of the year. See you guys.